Great view of the state capital of Texas on a warm, breezy, humid night here in Austin, Texas. It's time for Texas Tuesday. Baseball from UFCU Disch-Falk Field as the Texas State Bobcats and the Texas Longhorns take on each other. Over the weekend, Texas made their trip out to the hub city in Lubbock and took 2 out of 3. Opened up the series on Friday night with a 5-0 lead, only to lose that game 13-6. Came back and outscored Tech 24-5 in the next 2 ball games, including 17 on Sunday. Joe Baker outstanding on Sunday afternoon, and Texas wins the series 2-1. Hello, everybody. Keith Moore along with Greg Swindell. When you look at the weekend series, Greg, a lot of things come off the page, but that was an important series for Texas.
It was a huge series for Texas. They went in and took a 5-0 lead, like you said, Friday night, and Tech turned it up and beat them 13-5. Texas did not give up after that. They showed a lot of resiliency, did they, coming back and winning the next 2 games and beating them, run-rolling them on Sunday 17-1 against a very good team at home.
Yeah, it was very important when you're going to look at the conference standings. We'll cover that throughout the night tonight, but the turnaround in this Texas team in the last 7 ball games is offensively, folks. In the last 7 games, offensively, they've been the best they've been in quite a few years.
Yeah, they've been putting the ball in play a lot more. They've been getting the extra base hits. The OPS is high. The batting average is high. And like I said, they've put the ball in play. They haven't been striking out as much. By putting the ball in play, you make things happen. You get on base and score runs.
Well, this is always a fun series when the Bobcats and the Longhorns hook up. Texas trying to keep their offensive going in his 17th season. Outstanding coach in Ty Harrington, great friend of both you and I. Over 500 wins in his career as the head coach at Texas State. He's also a lifetime Longhorn, as he did play here at the University of Texas, and his lineup looks like this tonight. When you look at it, for me, really, it's those first 4 guys on top of this lineup. It's what drives this Bobcat offense.
Yeah, Jonathan Ortega, the freshman, talented freshman, gets it going. But look right there, 3 and 4, Tanner Hill up there in the NCAA and home runs for the season. A lot of power. Granger Studdard starting to get his hits as well. Tonight he will be facing Connor Mays, who's trying to get it back together on Tuesdays. His last 2 starts, he has not got out of the 3rd inning.
What are some of the things, for me, just watching, when you look at the numbers, the 23 walks, that's absolutely too many for Connor. He's a guy that's always showed good command. But he's got to pitch ahead in the count and then attack once he gets ahead. He can't pick.
Yeah, gotta get ahead. You can't overthink when you're on the mound. When you struggle at times, you try to overthink. You see right there, it's my second one on Zeke's keys. And the first one is throw strikes. Get ahead of hitters. Don't overthink. And when you're throwing strikes and not overthinking, you get in good rhythm. And that's what Connor needs to do tonight. And get all those bad thoughts out of his mind.
Yeah, if you get the ball and go. I think he gets a strike, gets ahead, and get the ball and go. Get into that rhythm. I think that's a great point. He'll start off with Jonathan Ortega, the second baseman. This is a lineup, as we talked about, very top part of the lineup dominant for the Bobcats. They are 10-8 in the Sun Belt Conference on this season. They come in at 22-19 overall on the year. It's been an up and down season for the Bobcats. They have played well at times, and then at times they've had their struggles. They play an awful lot of young players. This is a very young Bobcat team that Ty's bringing to town.
A very young team, and when you're young and you struggle, you're inconsistent. That's what they've been. They haven't been able to get the full game going for a big stretch this season.
Important ball game for both of these clubs. Texas trying to maintain the role that they're on a little bit. Texas has won 3 games in a row a couple of times throughout the season. That's the longest winning streak of the year, Greg. Pitch is in there for a strike.
When you're looking to get on a roll, it takes a little more than 3. Got to get it going for a week at a time, 2 weeks at a time. Both of these teams are trying to do that.
On the ground, foul. Quickly, Mays out in front, 1 and 2. Ortega, Newman, and Hill for the Bobcats here in the first. Glad you're with us. Storms possible this evening. It is a muggy, breezy night here at the Dish. Won't take you long to get ready to get warmed up if you're a pitcher tonight. Ripped down the right field line, but foul. This is one of those days when you come out, play catch about 4:30 or 5 in the afternoon, and you're loose the rest of the night.
You just stay loose after that.
Mays looks in for a sign, shakes a couple of times. Now he's set. Ortega keeping the at-bat alive.
Just going right after him with fastballs.
Freshman from Victoria. Coach Harrington talked to us about that. He really picked out these uniform tops. It's got the American flag on their Texas State logo in the front and on their number in the back. Hard to see that back number, but it is a good-looking uniform for the Bobcats. On the ground, Baker has it. Throw offline. Clements can't come up with it. E6 to start the ball game.
Joe just doesn't put much on this throw. Pitch by Connor. So Joe just kind of flat legs it, doesn't stride. Casey does all he could over there.
Greg, you've heard me say it before. You have to have good feet. And at times, if you get your feet out, not in the right spot as an infielder, it's going to lead to your elbow dropping down. That's exactly what happened to him down. His elbow came down, the ball sailed on him. So the leadoff base runner. And Ryan Newman steps in. Newman, a freshman from Brenham. 6 foot, 225 pound, very physical player. When you look at his numbers, 6 homers on the year. He's driven in 14. Plays a lot of outfield in the DH spot tonight. Throw over. Texas State, 27 of 39 on the base pass on the season. Ortega's 6 out of 7. It's not a team that runs that often. Pitch in there for a strike, and the count evens.
Over the weekend in Louisiana Lafayette, struggled to score runs, struggled to get base hits. Wouldn't surprise me tonight. They know Texas pitching is going to throw strikes, that you might see some action tonight. See runners take off, try some hit and runs, try to generate some offense.
Mays comes set. All speed misses outside, and it's 2-1.
Straight changeup from Connor. It's always a real good sign if you can back it up with one over the plate this time.
Newman's been in a struggle. He's in that 2 for 28 slump as he steps in here trying to get it back going again for the Bobcats. There goes Ortega. Ball hit pretty well out toward left. Going back. Underneath has it. The runner steps at second, have a chance to doubling up the throw to first in time for the double play. Excellent fake by Jake McKenzie, and Ortega didn't know where the baseball was.
Ortega did the right thing. I mean, he did not know where the ball was, but he was looking back at his base coach, Dominic Ramos. See the play here. Ball's hit the left field, but the big thing, Ortega was sliding into second base. Jake McKenzie gave him a deke like they were going to turn 2. And Joe Baker made sure he got a strong throw right there.
Didn't know where the baseball was, and then Baker's throw gets him. So that's a break and 2 quick outs. As Tanner Hill steps in because you don't want to face this guy with the guys on.
Big break with this big man in the box.
Senior from San Marcos. 13 big flies on the season.
He hit one against Texas, the game in San Marcos, with the wind blowing in. I know it's a hitter-friendly park down there, but that night it wasn't hitter-friendly. He turned the wind around. Tonight, blowing out to left.
Now watching BP from both of these clubs, it was getting out of here to left pretty easily. Fastball misses down and away. That's a good location if you're going to miss. Good spot to miss right there.
Yeah, stay right there. Keep commanding that pitch. 1, you'll get it called. 2, the hitters won't continue to take that.
Ball hit pretty well out to left. Going back is Rand. He won't get to it. He plays it off the wall. Could be a play at second. On his way to second. Relay is offline. And Hill with a sliding double. Boy, he put a good swing on that. That pitch made a mistake, middle part of the plate in, and boy, he just dropped the head on it.
Right in Tanner Hill's zone. This ball hit really hard. Tyler Rand, no chance of getting that one. A good throw. Joe Baker had a chance to cut it off, but instead decided to let it go through. Tanner Hill with a double.
His 10th of the year for Hill. And Granger Studdard steps in. It's a name that Longhorn fans, a last name for sure, that Longhorn fans know. Granger, the 6'1", 200-pounder. He's a junior. Studdard in the University of Texas. That sort of has been a name that's
got a name on the other side of 35.
Yeah, it's on the west side. Off speed, misses downstairs, and it's 2-0.
Talking with Ty Harrington, who said one thing Granger lately has been taking his walks. He's got 32 on the season. That's almost double the next guy in the lineup. He's also been, I'd say, I've seen him play a few times this year. He's hit the ball hard, just wasn't getting hits. When you start taking your walks, the hits come, and they have for Granger.
He leads their club with a .423 on-base percentage as he steps in here in a 3-0 count. Pitch catches the zone, and it's 3-1. I like that American flag on the logo and their number on the back. You can see it right there. Granger's uniform. Red, white, and blue. The 3-1. Tied him up. The count goes full.
Would not be surprised with an off speed here, 3-2. Fell behind 3-0 and got away with 2 fastballs. We've got Jalen Hubbard coming up next. Only has 3 walks on the season, so you know he's going to be swinging. Maybe take a chance on a younger player getting themselves out.
The payoff. Got him. Breaking ball not in a good spot, but fooled him. Had him off balance. And Mays out of the first. In his 20th season, the 6-time National Coach of the Year here at the University of Texas, a member of the ABCA Hall of Fame inductee in 2016, the College Baseball Hall of Fame in 2016, Augie Garrido, all-time winningest coach, and his lineup looks like this tonight. One of the changes that we're seeing, Travis Jones is remaining in the lineup, Greg, but he's staying as the DH, and Jake McKenzie playing at second, and Gerwitz moving back to center.
We saw that already pay off in this game with Jake McKenzie at second base, giving the deke to Ortega and getting the double play in the first inning. Travis has done a good job of hitting. Had been letting in more than he'd been driving in, so we're just going to have him hit for a while.
Well, that's the most important thing.
They're going to be facing Jeremy Hollenquist.
Hollenquist is the right-hander. He's a senior. Ty told us that, hey, this guy was early in the year one of our best pitchers. Has struggled some, though. He's missed a couple of starts on Tuesday.
Got the ball up in the zone. His last 2 starts, not getting out of the 4th inning. Before that, throwing the ball well. So key to that is keep the ball down, control Texas running game, and don't beat yourself up on the mound. That means if you make a mistake, get right back up there and keep going. Don't worry about it. Get up there and throw strikes.
Hit on the ground. Picked up, play across the diamond. Nice play, Hubbard. That's a nice play. Ball's hit hard to his left, able to knock it down, stay with it. Jones gets down the line in a hurry.
This ball hit hard right at Hubbard. Loses it there for a second, but does not panic on the play. Finds the ball and makes a good throw.
Cody Clement steps in, freshman from Houston. I think the numbers for me that jumped off the page, only 11 walks and 50 innings pitched for Jeremy.
When you get the ball around the plate, you get hitters swinging. He wasn't giving up many hits, but he started getting the ball, like you say, around the barrel. Started barreling up some hitters and wasn't happening too good for him.
Ball fouled back. There are times, I think, when pitchers can't miss the barrel. And then there's times, Greg, and I know you probably have felt that way sometimes, where even you don't make a greatest pitch, but it's out on the end or it's a little bit on the handle. And then there's times you make a good pitch and somebody gets the barrel on it.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling.
Clements over the top of that. A good start for the Bobcat right-hander.
Gets ahead of Cody and then drops the changeup on him right there. Good off-speed pitch. Jeremy has a fastball, a slider, and a changeup. We see a lot of sliders to right-handers and changeups to left-handers.
5 pitches so far, all 5 in the zone. As Barrera steps in, 6 out of 6 now.
It's good downward angle for Hallenquist right now. It's a good sign. So one of the keys was keep the ball down. We got a sinker. Sink on your fastball. You get it up, it flattens out. Right now, he's got that ball having some good angle with sink after that.
Coach Harrington told us when he's right, he gets a lot of first, second, third pitch contact outs. First pitch outside the zone, then it's 1-1. Ray Menard down at first. Matthew Martinez at second. Roger Claycomb at the umpire at third. Thomas Wilkovich, the ball and strike umpire behind the plate. The 3-1. Chop foul.
You're throwing the ball in there and you're getting hitters to swing over the top of it. You know you have it working. And then you get them to chop the ball on the ground.
The payoff. Outside ball 4. Good at bat for Barrera after falling behind quickly. And that'll bring Casey Clements to the plate. Casey on the year, the junior. 295, 3 homers. He's driven in 22. Really like Casey's walk to strikeout ratio. 21 walks, 23 strikeouts, almost a 1-to-1 ratio.
He's shown a lot of confidence as well as the season's progressed. I mean, we always talk about once he put the glasses on, but once, okay, you're wearing the glasses, you're seeing it better, you still have to hit it. You still have to swing the bat. He's been getting his extra base hits, got the home runs. He got confidence.
Snap throw to first. That time, Barrera just trying to get Hubbard, tried to sneak it in behind him. That was closer than Barrera would like to know how it was. He was looking at Ryan Russ, and Russ said, bag. The 2-0. You can see it right here, Greg. You're trying to go back to back. You put your head down, you take your eye off the catcher, and here comes the throw. That's the pitch before. That's not the one right there because the throw was coming. Hill was right there waiting on it. The 3-0. In there for a strike after throwing 6 consecutive strikes. He's thrown 7 outside the zone in his last 9 pitches. Barrera should be off right here. See if Coach Garrido puts him in motion. Not running. Hit down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Into the corner. Guerrero on his horse, headed to third. He'll be held up by Tommy Nicholson. At third base, throw was offline. Opposite field double for Casey Clemens.
Casey again has done a real good job of that. And this is a hitter's count, but the pitch is away, and Casey just takes this ball down the left field line. Like you said, if Tress would have been running right there, probably would have scored on that play, but Augie playing it safe.
Yeah, I just 3-1, 3-2 with 2 outs. I got to expect my hitter in a strike's going to put the ball in play.
Make some contact.
So Joe Baker with an opportunity. What a big day he had on Sunday afternoon. 4 for 4, drove in 6, including a home run, which misses outside. Let's see the weekend. That's the last 4 games. That was last week. Scored 6 runs, drove in 6. Big 12 player of the week. Ripped on the ground into left. Texas will play with a lead. Clements on his way to the plate. Throw's going to be through, and down to second goes Baker. It gets away with a big turnaround second, and Texas has scored 2 runs in the inning, and they had 2 outs and nobody on to start the inning.
Trace Barrera, a 2-out walk, a 2-out double, and a 2-out RBI single by Joe Baker. Leg kick, everything on time. Ball gets into left field. Left fielder Studdard was playing deep. Casey was going to score fairly easily on this ball.
Now, this ball's got to be cut off right here. Hubbard's got to know that that's offline and where the runner is. As a third baseman there, Greg, I turn the corner. I see where the runner is. I know. I don't have to listen to the catcher. I know he's going to score easily. Cut that ball off. Instead, it allowed it to get by. It's going to be a miscue that allows Baker to second base. Visit already here. Texas is 15-6, Greg, when they score first.
Yeah, that's really big for Texas right there. 5 pitches, the first 2 hitters of the ball game, 2 outs. Since then, Texas has been resilient. They've gone right after Tress with the walk, the double, RBI, 2 RBI single by Joe Baker.
Patrick Mathis steps in. Patrick, the sophomore from Waco, leads the team in hitting as he steps in here at .315. Downstairs for ball 1. 5 homers. He's driven in 27. We got an open base here and a left-handed hitter, and Zane Gerwitz in the on-deck circles, a right-handed hitter. I think you're careful here. Not allow Texas to blow this game open early. Coach Harrington told us not scoring a lot of runs as a team.
Over the weekend, held to 4, I believe. 4 runs against Louisiana Lafayette.
.300 on the season with runners in scoring position is Mathis. Got a good hack at that. Fouled it straight back. Almost got the feeling, Greg, I know you as a pitcher probably noticed it too. This breeze is just whipping out of here. You knew it was going to be an offensive night.
Yeah, that's what more reason to keep the ball down. Especially when you're a sinker ball pitcher. Good location right there, doesn't get the call.
Right at the bottom of the zone, you can see that look like, where's that pitch? I can't make a better pitch than that. That's at the knees. The 3-1 to Mathis. We'll go to a full count now. Five pitches, 2 quick outs. Since then, a 2-spot.
Fell behind Casey before he got the double. Tress just had a good at bat. Fought his way back for a walk.
3-2. Breaking ball. Popped. Out to center. Almendarez is over. Under. Puts it away to end the inning. But Texas gets on the board. With 2 outs, Joe Baker does it again. 2-run single.
Texas Baseball on Longhorn Network is brought to you by Whataburger. Get your day started at Whataburger with a jalapeno cheddar biscuit.
A great view of downtown Austin, all the new high-rises in the downtown area, as the Texas Longhorns have jumped out to a 2-0 lead as we go to the top of the second. Connor Mays pitched around a 2-out double in the first. He will face the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Texas leads here 2-0.
I would say a big inning for Connor Mays, but I believe every inning is big for Connor Mays to get himself right, get himself adjusted on that mound, especially after getting that 2-run lead. Right now, your job is to throw strikes.
Hubbard, freshman from Missouri City, Texas.
Son of Trinidad Hubbard.
Yes, sir.
Pops played in the big leagues for a while, faced him many times. Very competitive, very strong man.
Fouls this ball off and the count evens. Mays has struggled in the first pitch strike department. And he's 1 for 5 for the first 5 hitters coming to the plate. Has not found that rhythm yet. A lot of shake, a lot of time in between pitches. Breaking ball. Hit into right center. Mathis trying to get there. Yes, he does. For the first out of the inning.
Leadoff hitter, big out for Connor Mays. Very good job of getting ahead and putting him away right there. Any way you can get him. Get the rhythm going. Keep the rhythm.
Paul steps in. Sophomore from Katy. Good swing on that one. Only 45 at bats on the season for the sophomore. Hitting .313. Good pitch there from Mays. Quickly he's out in front. No balls and 2 strikes.
I don't try to pick or anything right now. It's been your problem to be wild, not those strikes. Yeah, good pitch right there.
Yeah, come back. You know, maybe this one gets more than a corner of the plate.
Yeah, throw this one on the plate somewhere.
Got him with the fastball. Good location, down and away. Second strikeout of the ball game for Connor Mays.
Almost looks like he had Dylan Paul indecisive. Kind of a late swing right there. See Connor Mays, a good balance point right there. Gets on top of it, makes a good pitch, gets a nice the follow through, gets his backside through, and a little stare down on the end.
Luke Shirley steps in. He's a sophomore from the Woodlands. Shirley, the shortstop for the Bobcats, 256 on the year. On the ground, Baker has it. Cross the diamond in time, and 1, 2, 3. Go the Bobcats here in the second. 2-0 Texas. Over the weekend, Texas traveled out to the hub city in Lubbock. And on Sunday, Tyler Rand got the scoring going early with his first career home run, and Texas walked away early, Greg, with a 3-0 lead. From there on, it was the Joe Baker show. He was 4 for 4, including a 2-run homer. He drove in 6 runs on the day, and Texas came away with a 17-1 victory and took 2 out of 3 from the Red Raiders. They were the 7th-ranked Red Raiders when the Longhorns went out there for the weekend series. That was a huge series for Texas to come away with a victory in that series.
It looked like that game that the Red Raiders at Tech almost thought, wait a minute, what's going on here? This doesn't happen to a 7th-ranked team, but Texas kept the at-bats going and kept the innings going. You said they batted 9 guys 1 inning, and 10 guys.
4th and 10 in the 5th.
Yeah, that's getting the job done.
Scoring 5 in each of those 2 frames, coming away with the 17-1 victory. Zane Gerwitz really has had an outstanding second half of the year. He and Casey Clements are a major part of this turnaround offensively that's taken place, especially here in the month of April. Gerwitz now with a 1-1 count. The junior from San Antonio.
He just wanted to be in the lineup. He was in center field, and then when Joe Baker went down, they moved him into second base, and really, one error the entire time he was playing second base, and played good there and started hitting when he got to second base. Started hitting more. Now back in center field.
Chopped on the ground. Shelley comes to get it. Throw in time. That's a nice play for Luke Shirley. Excuse me. This is a tough play when you got to attack on this turf.
It's that first reaction. Get that first step, and time it. Got the short hop right there, and all in one motion. Has himself ready to throw. A lot of energy in that young man out there.
Tyler Rand stepped in at his first career home run over the weekend out in Lubbock. That's a 7-game streak on the line right now.
Something was said to Hollenquist in between innings. Now he's getting that ball and found the angle again. Getting the depth on the fastball. Almost as if after Tress got up last inning, he shied away from everything and attacking. This inning just going right back at him.
Got a good arm. Let's see what Coach Arrington likes about his right-hander.
Gets away with a hanging slider right there, fooled everybody.
You can see the Big 12 standings. Texas and Oklahoma State will have that series for you this weekend right here from UFC Disch-Falk Field. Another big series over the weekend, Greg, for me, is the Red Raiders go on the road after losing 2 out of 3 to Texas to TCU, who, by the way, dropped 2 out of 3 at Oklahoma State. So the top 4 teams 2 weekends in a row in this conference are going to hook up with each other.
Be real interesting, especially this weekend. We could see 4th go to 1st and 1st go to 4th over a matter of 3 games.
Jake McKenzie steps in, sophomore from Dallas. Friday night appeared for the first time on the mound. Saturday played second. Sunday played second. Underneath the glove of Hubbard, infield knock for McKenzie. Much like the first, 2 outs, nobody on, and Texas gets something going.
This time Hollenquist makes him earn it. Jake McKenzie. Augie likes him in there. He likes his energy. Likes the way he plays the game. I mean, his stats aren't going to jump out at you, but he's going to play the game, and we saw that in the first inning with the deke and getting the double play. I mean, you don't teach that. That's just a little knowledge of being out there, right? And now getting on with a 2-base hit, 2-out hit.
Back to the top of the order to Travis Jones. And the other part is the middle part of this conference. Getting back to the standings at this point, with each team in the conference having 3 conference series left. Kansas and West Virginia lost a game to Weather, so they're 1 game under. So West Virginia stands in 5th place at 6-8. Oklahoma in 6th place at 6-9, just because of winning percentage. Texas, obviously, after this weekend, will have to go on the road, and a tough place to go to Morgantown. That's going to be a big series for Texas as well. And then they end the season right back here against Baylor.
Real interesting last 3 weekends of the conference.
12 ball games left.
Well, this one this weekend is huge.
Long pause this time, and the 1-1. Slider, good one, hits the corner, and it's 1-2. I mean, I think, but for overall in this conference, when you start looking at the conference, obviously, I think you've separated it. I think the standings separate the 4 teams who have shots at the NCAA tournament. Now, for Texas, with 12 ball games left, we'll get to it after this pitch. The 1-2 delivery. Throws over. You know, I think if you finish first or second in this conference in the regular season and you're above 500, I think you get an NCAA bid. Now, that's a personal opinion. But to do that, we'll go through the scenarios. I think Texas has got to go 10-2 over the last 12, probably 8-1 in conference play to accomplish that. Got him with a breaking ball, and that ends the inning. McKenzie with a single. 2-0, we go to the third.
When you need.
You can see Coach Garrido talking about the importance of not only Tuesday games, but this weekend, they've got a huge series against the Cowboys. Zeke, as Cowboys come to town, 9-6, tied with Texas for 3rd place in the conference. They have played well away from home. That's the other part of that series for me. The Cowboys are 7-2 in conference play away from home, and they come in with outstanding pitching. That's probably, you look at it, there's the times. Unusual start time Friday night, folks, 7 o'clock Central, 3:30 Saturday, and 1:30 on Sunday afternoon. For me, it is a much different looking Cowboy team, Greg, because of the fact is it's built around pitching.
Yeah, most of the teams that Oklahoma State puts out, you think of hitting. Always good hitting teams in Stillwater, and they've had decent pitching. But this year the pitching is what's carrying them, and that pitching will give you a lot of confidence. You see right there, yeah. 25th RPI is Oklahoma State, so if Texas can win this series this weekend, be a big jump for them as well.
Yep, I think Texas RPI, if you could have a great weekend, could jump into the 60s. They're a little bit over 100, 104, I believe, right at this point. If they can really make a big jump, finish the season strong. They're going to have to. They're going to have postseason aspirations, either in the regular season getting it done or have to go win the Big 12 tournament again. 3-1 to Hubbard as he steps in. He's a sophomore from spring. Taking all the way, and that pitch is upstairs. This has been the bugaboo inning, folks, for Connor Mays. See if he can push through this 3rd inning of work.
That 3rd inning. Each of his last 2 starts, Connor Mays 2 1/3 innings. And both times he's left the game with the bases loaded. So right here he needs to really bear down. Really not think about those last 2 starts. Throw you a good pitch here. Get you an out, possibly a double play.
Jacob Almendarez steps in. First pitch fastball in there for a strike. He's a freshman from Pearland.
Coach Harrington starts, what do you say, 5 freshmen. So they're taking their lumps. It's a long season, playing a lot of baseball. It's about the time of year where you kind of separate, not saying men from the boys, but just when you're not used to this level and playing at this competition and this intensity, you can sometimes hit a wall. Just it starts to wear on you a little bit.
Yeah, high school hitters who get 100 at-bats in a season, that's a lot of at-bats in a high school season. In college, you're going to have somewhere around 200, 225. So it starts to be tiring. It's and taxing, too, because in high school, to get to an opportunity to play college ball, you're pretty much dominating high school. Well, it's not that way in college. Almendarez steps back in. 1-1. Tries to push bunt. Pushes it foul.
The travel in the Sun Belt Conference.
Absolutely, because it is.
And even going to Georgia Southern, you fly to Atlanta, you still got a 3.5-hour bus ride down to Statesboro. Getting home, you don't get home till after a Sunday game till 1, 2 in the morning, having to go to class.
If you can get back on Sunday.
Right.
1-2 to Jacob. Top of the order awaits on deck. Ortega does a nice job fighting this off. Keeps the at-bat alive.
Talking to both head coaches and Skip Johnson and Jeremy Feacox, the pitching coaches, they'd like to see their starters getting to 75, 80 pitch count.
And I would think Skip Johnson the same way with Connor. I think he would like to see him push through and get into the game. Hung that breaking ball. Almendarez does a nice job of hitting right there for a young hitter. Didn't try to do much with it, just went with it the other way. He was thinking right field the entire time.
Thinking right field, and you get that hanging breaking ball, it makes it a little bit easier. Good job of keeping his head on it right there. Not doing too much. Look the other way and hit it the other way.
Jonathan Ortega steps in. He reached on an error his first time up. Greg, can it be mental when you know you've had a tough time in the third inning in your last 2 starts and you come out here the third again and you look up, it's first and second, nobody out?
100%. Yes. I mean, it started with the first hitter, Huber. You can see Connor just trying to find the fastball and fell behind 3-0 and throws a high fastball 3-1. Walks him. Then hangs a breaking ball to Almendarez. And now you're in that same situation. Right now you're hoping to get a strike, hoping to get an out right here. They're trying to give you an out. That's what you want to take the out. With that, Travis Duke will begin throwing.
Ortega 356 on the year with runners in scoring position. With an 0-1 count. Ball misses outside and the count evens. Casey Clements was really crashing down the line that time from first base. Mays working much slower than he did earlier in the game.
Runners on base and getting a sign from shortstop Joe Baker, but you know what they're doing right here. They're trying to give you an out.
This ball bunted foul. Break for Texas as Ortega's unable to get the sacrifice down. And it'll be 1-2. Do you bunt here with 2 strikes?
Wouldn't be surprised to try to get those runners over, but Ortega swings the bat well. He's got a good 2-strike approach as a leadoff hitter. He's batting .324. He's got a good idea up there. A lot of indecision right here from Connor Mays. Again.
I think one of the things that you notice from Ortega, especially when he was bunting, he is right up as close as you can get. There's a line in between the plate and that establishes the batter's box. He's standing right on top of that line. Does that affect you as a pitcher?
Well, you look at it and you're like, well, I can't really throw in right here. So if I throw in, I might hit the hitter. You see Ortega right there. Right on that line. And if I go away, I have to go off the plate. I mean, if they take it, it's a ball. Really, the only place I can throw it is down the middle.
He's right back up there again.
You put something on it, either a changeup or an off-speed pitch. That takes care of that.
1-2 pitch chopped on the ground. Mays looks at second, only plays to first, underhands it low, but nice job by Clements to come up with the play. It works just like a sacrifice.
Yeah, it did. Just got fooled on the fastball, but hit it into the ground in a perfect location for Texas State for the runners to move up.
Newman, Ryan steps in. He flied out to left his first time up. He's in the middle of an off time as a hitter. He's 2 for his last 29 as he steps in here. He's looking to try to get something going for the Bobcats. Infield back for Texas. First pitch misses for ball one.
You want this hitter. Get this one out. You have the liberty of walking or pitching around Tanner Hill, but then you have to throw to Granger Studdard. But there's a reason why your left-hander's up in the bullpen as well.
1-0 foul back. Good pitch there. Tied him up. Newman could not get extended, and it's 1-1. Skip Johnson. Obviously, you're thinking about what pitches you're going to call as a pitching coach if you're helping out Barrera.
There's a lot of times where Tress has the call. If Skip really wants something done, he'll get his attention and let him know. Tress has been back there long enough to understand his pitching staff.
Mays has thrown 4+ pitches to 11 of the 12 batters that have come to the plate in the ballgame. Got away with a high fastball there, and the count evens.
Connor with 2 strikeouts tonight. He hasn't been able to find that strikeout pitch this year. His curveball that he had last year was a buckling curveball, and it was a good 2-strike pitch, a good strikeout pitch. Hasn't been able to find it.
Underneath that fastball, and it's a full count.
Tried to elevate it. Tress wanted that fastball up, but it was a little too far out.
This is the pitch of the ball game so far for Mays. Got to make one here. 50th pitch of the game.
Changeup. 3-2 changeup up in the zone.
7th pitch of the at-bat coming.
Connor start against Houston. He threw 53 in 2 1/3. Last week against UT RGV threw 70 in 2 1/3.
Long look in again. Base hit to right. Mathis to his left. Have to get to it. His throw to go to second. We've got a tie ball game. Newman comes through with a big base hit for the Bobcats, and we're tied at 2.
Looks like he went back to the changeup right here. The ball's just up out over the plate. For Newman to get extended on it, put a good swing on it.
That'll bring Tanner Hill to the plate. Each team with 2 hits, each team with 3 knocks. 1 gone here in the top of the 3rd. It's been a struggle on Tuesday night for Connor Mays, and an inability to throw his breaking ball first strikes with any kind of real movement to it.
And consistency. He's thrown a couple breaking balls over, but he just hasn't been able to do it consistently.
You can see the numbers right there. The last 2 starts on Tuesday night. Averaging 5 walks. Or has 5 walks and 5 strikeouts. Tonight 2 strikeouts and 1 walk.
Tries to force it. It's like he leading with his elbow, dropping his elbow, leading with it. Everything is just, the timing isn't there on the off-speed pitch. Fastball's there. Off-speed pitch just not able to find the release.
Fly ball right field. Mathis has a beat on it. Under, puts it away, and that's a big pitch and a big out to get Hill.
You got to challenge him. You can't get that off speed over. You have to locate something. You got to locate the fastball.
Granger Studdard strides to the plate. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. .25 pitches this inning for Connor Mays.
say you give up a hit here or give up a walk. I still think you stick with Connor Mays in this situation. You've got your hits. You got a couple runs on the board. You're going to get more. You got to keep leaving him out there. Let him get through this, in my opinion.
Push it.
Keep
push
pushing.
through it.
Keep pushing.
1-0. Didn't get the call right at the belt buckle. And now a good hitter's pitch coming to Granger. Got in on him. Good pitch. McKenzie has it, and that ends the inning, but not before the Bobcats get on the board and score 2. We had an opportunity earlier today for you to sit down and visit with senior left-hander Ty Colbreth.
Ty, leading the Big 12 in wins this season, what has been the key to your success?
I'd have to say not trying to do too much going into every start. I try and keep it as simple as possible. My main goal is to, keep my team in the ball game for however many innings that is. Go out, throw strikes. I try not to have any walks every start if I can. And just, I think my offense has helped me out a tremendous amount this year. I think 4 or 5 starts, they've put up at least 10 runs for me. And that's always a little easier to pitch and
it's always fun,
be a little more successful.
Hey, Skip Johnson, the guru, the pitching guru here at the University of Texas, the pitching coach. What has he taught you since you've been here?
I think the biggest thing that he's taught me is to be myself. Don't try and be somebody you're not. I'm not a guy that throws, 95, 96, so don't try and go and pitch like that, pitch to my strengths. And I think that's been the biggest, at least that's been the most helpful thing this year for me that's given me the most success.
Your senior year, what's your most favorite experience since you've been here?
Omaha, easily.
Got to be, huh?
That was the greatest time of my life. That's something I'll never forget.
Okay, and then final question, your all-time favorite left-handed pitcher, beside yourself, pitcher from the University of Texas?
Probably have to go with Greg Swindell.
You heard it right there. Ty Colbreth. Thank you very much.
You didn't tell me he was going to tell you he was your favorite player. Partner, well done.
I set him up with that one.
You did. I'm
just glad he didn't say Cat Osserman or somebody.
Well, that's a pretty good left-hand.
Yes.
You can see the numbers right there. Ty's done a nice job. He's won 8 ball games, which leads the Big 12. The innings pitched to, he's just kept Texas from using the bullpen. That's been so important. And then the last part is that he throws strikes.
Those strikes. You heard it. He tries not to walk anyone, which he doesn't walk too many. And he controls both sides of the plate with his fastball, and he's been consistent. He's been Mr. Steady. That's why we call him Mr. Steady.
Cody Clements will step in. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. And the 2-0. Good location. It'll be Cody, Barrera, and Casey here for Texas in the third. Texas offense put a 2 spot on the board in the first on the ground. Shirley up with it. Cross in time for the first out here in the third.
Hollenquist tonight, importance of getting ahead. Strike 1 when he does tonight. 0 hits and 3 strikeouts. When he falls behind with the ball, 3 hits and no strikeouts.
Amazing the difference what strike 1 makes. Those young pitchers out there, say, I want to be a pitcher, and how do I be successful? The first advice I would get them, kind of throw it across the plate first.
Hey, when I was 14 years old, we had an all-star team, and we had to throw 20 pitches at the end of our workout. 20. And if every ball we threw, we had to run a lap.
You found the strike zone.
I got up to 17 out of 20. I never was perfect, but I did not like running.
Not many people do.
Or being told to run anyway. So
the 2-0.
I learned to throw strikes.
Side.
I had friends running 11 laps, 12 laps. Man, we don't want to put him in the game later.
Coach Garrido could turn Barrera loose right here with this wind blowing out. We'll see what happens. He did not, and it's 3-1. That's the 5th 3-ball count. You can see that breeze whipping out of here to left field. Fouled off. It's back to a full count. Coach Garrido in his 20th season as the head coach here at Texas. Well, that's good movement on that fastball. Got in under the hands.
See, that should tell you something if you're Jeremy Hollenquist right there. You fall behind 3-0, and then you throw 3 fastballs. You get to, I mean, 3-2 is still a hitter's count, in my opinion.
Yes,
it's still mainly, most of the time, going to see a fastball, and you have movement on that fastball, and you get a swing over strikeout. That should tell you, be more consistent getting that pitch over or getting it around the plate and not falling behind hitters.
Casey Clements steps in, back over 300 now with this at bat. 301 on the year. Doubled his last time up. Tried to backdoor breaking ball, and it's even.
Ran away from his target right there. He was all off to the first base side of the mound when he released that.
Both of these pitchers almost identical when you talk to both head coaches, in the sense that they're guys that they counted on. They're guys that really have pitched well throughout the year, but it's been struggles for them over the last 3 starts.
Yeah, they gave Hollenquist a week off. See if we get his mind right, get him back out there.
Ball hit pretty well to left. This ball's carrying. It's got a chance. It's out of here. Opposite field home run. Casey Clements. It's a 3-2 ball game.
And the Casey emojis are up and dancing. That ball just gets up in the wind. Looked like a pretty good pop fly to left field. Got up there and just kept carrying.
We talked about it going out of here. Up and out over the plate. He gets it on the barrel, though. Gets that breeze to carry it out of here. His 4th of the year. Just runs out of real estate. You look up right there, and Studdard just said, I got no more room to go. Joe Baker steps in. On a tear as of late. His last 5 ball games, he's driven in 8 now. On the ground, foul down the left field line.
Hollenquist in his last 3 starts, or 3 starts including tonight, just 1 strikeout tonight with 4. He's got a good sinker. I mean, he throws it below the bats, and that's when you're effective. You see the home run there, the Casey, that ball was up and out over the plate.
2-2 now to Baker. I've got a piece of Joe. Tried to throw a breaking ball, got underneath it. Baker will be awarded first base. It's a conversation as a catcher when you go out. The first thing you're saying right here is say, hey, look, we got to stay focused. You got to stay right back in what you've been doing. You know, we made a mistake. He's made 2 mistakes to me tonight. The big mistake for me was the pitch to Baker was right down Broadway, and then obviously the pitch there to Clements. Other than that, he's been able to get ahead.
He's done a good job. He's got the first 2 hitters out each inning.
Ripped to right. Baker on his way to 3rd. 5th hit of the ball game for Texas. And you mentioned it, Greg. Offensively, Texas has been good with 2 outs and nobody on.
All 5 hits, all 3 runs. 2 outs, nobody on. They just find a way and grind them out with a chance to get more. Pitch to Patrick right there was just a slider just out over the plate. You don't see Allenquist throw too many sliders to the left-handed hitters because it comes right back into their swing.
Gerwitz grounded to short his first time up. Activity in the Bobcat bullpen. Ooh, got away with a hanger there. Gerwitz with a good swing, fouled it straight back.
To be reassured, I got a text from my mom, Tani, says that I'm her all-time favorite left-hander.
Okay.
Cat's a close second. Thanks, Mom. Thanks for watching.
Line to center. Texas adds another 4-2 lead.
It's really not a bad pitch by Allenquist, just bad location. Ball was down, but just over the middle of the plate, and Zane did a good job of driving it up the middle.
That may be it.
A lot of times when the main man comes out, that's usually it.
Ty Harrington headed to the mound. Just unable to put away Texas. He was able to get the first 2 outs, but just unable to come away with that 3rd out of an inning. And on 6 hits now, Texas has doubled up the Bobcats 4-2. They will make a move to the bullpen. We'll give you the information on the new left-hander when we come back.
Brandon Lewis, 5'11" freshman out of Cypress, Texas, will come in for the Bobcats. Fastball, curveball, changeup. A lot of 2-seamers. Ball runs in to lefties. See his numbers on the season. Coming in right here. Couple runners on, try to get Texas State out of this mess. Texas tonight, though, with 2 outs, I wouldn't want to be facing them. Like I said, 6 hits and all 4 runs, all 6 hits and all 4 runs with 2 outs and no one on base.
Yep, they've really done an outstanding job in the first. They've showed power again. 2 extra base hits in the ball game for Texas, including both of them by Casey Clemens. As Lewis finishes his warm-up pitches here. You can see the numbers there. Responsible for runners at first and second still. Young man's got good stuff. You can see that he's got good stuff. He's in that same mode that a lot of guys get into. He just hadn't been able to push through these last 4 or 5 outings.
You saw what he has when he keeps the ball down. Kept the ball down and got outs. You get it elevated, it flattens out, as do a lot of sinker ball pitchers, and Texas took advantage of the ones that were up in the zone.
Tyler Rand, freshman from Cypress, steps in. I think these 2 guys probably have seen each other before, being from the Houston area. Lined right at the second baseman. Ortega puts it away, and that ends the inning. Not before Texas gets on the board. The first one, an opposite field solo homer by the junior from Houston, Casey Clemens. Neither starting pitcher will figure in the decision, Greg, as the Texas Longhorns go to the bullpen, as well as Bo Ridgway comes into the game here in the top of the 4th. We'll get to Connor Mays in a minute after we give you Bo Ridgway. A freshman from the Woodlands comes on the year, making his 16th appearance.
Bo pitched against these Bobcats March 1st. Gave up a solo home run. That was it. He has 6 straight scoreless outings over his last 8 2/3 innings, does Bo Ridgway.
Go back to Connor Mays and you just look at it from the beginning. Again, another outing. You can see a young man that's trying. I mean, it's not effort, just the inability to command the pitches for me. It was his fastball, but didn't have snap to his breaking ball. Really couldn't command his change. He missed upstairs with it a lot. Texas is looking for that 4th guy. They're going to have to find one. before they get into postseason play.
It's getting a little late. There's only a couple more Tuesdays to go. 2 more after this to be exact. Against Prairie View and another game against Texas State.
Hubbard steps in. Ridgway quickly out in front. No balls and 2 strikes.
But I guess it can be the importance of your other starting pitchers getting deeper into ball games as well. I mean, if it's going to be a tough find for that fourth starter, if your other starters can go deeper, save guys in the bullpen, and then just piece that fourth game together.
Sometimes you have to do that. There's no question. And guys got to get stretched out in the bullpen a little bit. The 1-2. Got him. Good sinking fastball. Hubbard foul tip. Guerrero holds on to it for the first out of the inning.
Bo has good sinker slider. A lot of movement on the fastball. He can control it. He can command it inside and out. When you can throw this one on the outer half and have movement on it down, that's a plus.
Dylan Paul steps in. He was a strikeout victim his first time up against Mays. Out in front of the plate. Barrera on. It's a fair ball. Throws to first in time. He did a nice job of getting out and getting the ball in fair territory. Make sure if it's on the line, it's a fair baseball. He picks it up. Throws to first. Is this ball on the line? Even though it bounced behind the plate, if he gets it in front of that line, that's a fair baseball.
That ball looked like it was in the batter's box when he picked it up. What's this? It has a little backspin on it. See the backspin right there?
If it's in the batter's box, it's a foul ball.
Hard to tell from right there, but it looked like it could either right on the line or just over. Coach Harrington doesn't like it. He's giving Thomas Walkowiak a little bit.
2 gone for Luke. Shirley steps in, pops it straight up. Clements comes in and makes the play.
Where'd he come from? Casey wanted all that one. A good inning for Bo Ridgway.
Game plan with legendary coach Augie Garrido returns to LHN tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Central. Catch all things Texas baseball as Coach talks strategy and provides insight to the 2016 Longhorns on Game Plan with Augie Garrido. That's 8 o'clock tomorrow night, Wednesday, Central Time. Texas coming to bat here in the 4th. Scoring 2 in the 1st and 2 in the 3rd. It'll be the 9, 1, and 2 spots due for Texas against Brandon Lewis.
Brandon Lewis started that game in San Marcos against Texas. Went 4 2/3 innings, only gave up 6 hits and 3 runs, but Texas able to throw up the 6th spot in extra innings and win that game 10-4.
1-1 pitch misses downstairs to McKenzie. McKenzie singled his first time up. Nice turns that pitch over. The count evens. That was right there on the corner.
His last 2 innings for Lewis, 4 2/3 innings. He's only given up 2 runs in those 4 2/3 and struck out 5.
Texas has not been able to get into the flow of their offense, but they've still scored 4 runs. 2 outs, nobody on in each of the first 2 frames. 3 frames. McKenzie diving to his left. Hubbard throw across the diamond. Nice play. Jalen Hubbard with a really nice play to his left for the first out of the inning.
Very nice play by number 19 there. Jalen Hubbard, 1, stopping this ball. You see the dive, but also getting up, losing everything on the way up. Gloves, sunglasses. Makes the educated fade throw over to first.
Yeah, he's got more stuff on the ground than he's got in his pockets now.
The shades falling out, gloves falling out.
Travis Jones steps in. Jones 0 for 2. His 3rd at bat in 4 innings for Travis Jones. That's doing a good job offensively. 6 guys in the 1st, 4 guys in the 2nd, 7 guys in the 3rd for Texas. rip into the gap in left center. Studdard cuts it off. The big turn. Jones back to the bag. 7th hit of the game for Texas.
First one tonight with less than 2 outs. Good swing by Travis. So the ball just up out over the plate. Barrels it up.
Front side down.
Front side down. I'm learning a lot about hitting this year with you, Zone. learning my lingo.
You get that hitter gets that front foot down and that front hip stays in.
On time.
On time. Usually the barrel's going to come through the zone pretty good. Ball gets away. Hubbard down to second goes Jones.
Just a clank right there.
Yep.
Now calls time, throws the ball. He lost mask, helmet. This ball just missed. Closed his glove too soon.
Didn't take long for me to put pass ball down, and that's what it was. I'm not the official score, but you got to catch that ball. So Jones into scoring position. Cody 0 for 2 as he steps in. Breaking ball downstairs. That's why you put a right-handed hitter behind a left-handed hitter, then a right-hander and a left-hander, because it puts a little pressure on the pitcher right here. And you would think, well, he's got to go get this guy. But you got a right-handed hitter on deck and then a left-hander behind him. Jones trying to go to third. Throw into left. Jones up, creates a run on his own, and it's 5-2 Texas.
Very good read on the ball in the dirt by Travis Jones. You can see he's got the perfect seat to see the pitch right there. He's out at second base with a secondary lead. Sees the ball in the dirt. As soon as it's in the dirt, he's gone. Good throw wouldn't have got him. Ball thrown wild, and he's going to score the run.
Gets up quickly, too, right here. I thought he recognized the ball was away and was up right away on his way to the plate. Pitch misses, ball 4. Two weeks ago, folks, a lot of you watch the games. Texas couldn't buy 5 runs in a ball game.
Now they're getting them in innings over the weekend.
Scoring runs in bunches now as a team.
I think it's one, confidence as a team, taking better at bats, putting the ball in play more often, and I think hustle.
And they have good base running.
Better base running and hustle. Even the ball that Travis hit to left center, he was almost halfway to second base. I mean, if they make a bad throw or just bobble that ball in the outfield, he goes to second. So I think the hustle, the base running, just everything on the offensive side. So he got a good read on the ball in the dirt. Was going to be safe and catches a break with the wild throw and scores a run. Put pressure on the opposition.
Pressure on the defense. Texas has scored in 3 of 4 innings in the ball game. 2 in the first. That happened with 2 outs and nobody on. 2 in the third. 2 outs and nobody on. And now 1 here in the third and still just 1 out in the inning. This is the 8th straight game where Texas have scored 5+ runs. And they are 15-4 on the year when they do that. Doesn't take a rocket scientist. I have a degree from the University of Texas, and I can tell you it doesn't take me long to figure out if you score 5, you're going to win.
Well, I don't, and I'm no rocket scientist. 5 runs is a lot, especially when you have a pitching staff as Texas has. They've lost some of those, but Texas pitching hasn't been on. You should win those games. A team like Texas with their staff should have won more, in my opinion.
Yes.
But they've just been off on a few of the games, the pitching staff.
Barrera steps in. Downstairs, good hitter's pitch coming. Activity taking place in the Bobcat bullpen.
They better watch out if this ball's elevated.
Just underneath it. Popped up down the left field line. Going to be a difficult play. Nobody gets to it. Stutter did not get a good read. That big swing, he took a back step.
He plays deep as it is. He took the step back. And right now it's not twilight, but the sky is grayish looking and tough to pick up.
It is very humid and breezy.
Didn't fall far from him right there.
Severe storms maybe later tonight. And you can tell it's just that time. You can tell it's right before a rainstorm. It's just got so much humidity in the air.
It's been stirring all day. Let's get one more inning in. One more half inning.
The 2-1. Lewis has a good move.
Now, you never want to show your best move, your first move. Just kind of a throw over. Keep him honest over there.
That time he used the slide step. Young pitchers, Greg, I think that is a creation that happened and started at the big league level. Explain to folks the difference between a normal delivery and a slide step.
Well, a normal delivery, you lift your leg up, get a good balance point, and then you throw the ball home. And it's easier because you can get the hand out of the glove and you can be on time.
Arm can catch up.
Arm can catch up. Now the quick step, time was called the quick step. You really have to get the ball out of your glove quicker because you're going quicker to home plate and your arm has a tendency to drag if you're not on time.
You could see Lewis's right leg come up that time. See, that's a normal delivery. This ball popped up. Wind may push it back to the field of play. It does not. And the other move you can see is Lewis will come set and he will not lift that right leg forward. He'll just slide it forward and deliver the ball.
You really got to get the hand out of the glove and be able to get on top a lot sooner.
But it is a really good technique for young pitchers to learn how to keep runners from running off of you.
Yeah, you don't see too many they don't get good jumps. One, because they see the slide step and they just don't go. You have to be pretty fast to go on a slide step. Have good reactions.
Great view, guys. Showing you this. I hope he does go to the slide step here. You can see the difference in his delivery. There it is. You see he did not lift that leg, and the ball gets to home plate so much quicker.
We can get there quicker, but a great pitch off the slide step is the changeup, because a hitter sees the quickness to the plate and they get geared up, and now all of a sudden it's a changeup. Gets them out front. I learned that against Ed Sprague.
Had Barrera guessing that time.
Looking for something different, that's for sure. See, I did that against Ed Sprague. I couldn't get him out for the longest time, and I just, in the middle of a game, decided to go to the slide step changeup, and I got him to pop up to first. And don't know where it came from. I just tried it, but it worked. Just like that fastball right down the middle right there to Triss. Looking for the local and got the express.
The man of the match for Texas steps in. Opposite field double, opposite field solo homer. He is a triple and a single away from the cycle. Snap throw to first, and Lewis is back. I mean, actually, Clements is back from Lewis.
Well, we saw him get his first triple of his career last week.
Earlier in the ball game, ball up and out over the plate. Fourth of the year. That's his double in the first inning. Second time up, fastball up. Opposite field solo homer.
I didn't think he got it, but Jeremy Hollenquist looked like he knew he got it. Maybe because he saw it, the trajectory, it went up in the air, and he was like, uh-oh.
That's in the breeze. Cody at first, Casey at the plate. Doesn't get the call on the breaking ball. You see Hubbard double take. Catchers don't double take very often. He went to what? Stopped and then threw it back to the pitcher.
Fastball or curveball had some big break to it.
Dad watching.
See right there, Lewis throws over, but Cody Clemens was maybe a step off the bag. No reason to throw over right there. Just hold the ball, see if he gets a bigger lead, and then maybe try the throw over. So that's still not a very big lead right there. That's telling me he's not going anywhere.
Telling me you're not reading it very well either.
Right. And if he goes, it'll be a hit and run.
Runs a fastball up and in. And it's 2-1. There are times as a pitcher, even though you've got a good move, I think you try to worry too much about the guy at first.
Especially with 2 outs. With 2 outs, I mean, if I see a guy and he's not even 2 steps off the bag, I'm going right at the guy in the box. I'm getting that 3rd out. And if he goes from that lead, he's got a good arm. He's going to throw him out.
The 2-2. Chopped down on the ground. Clements couldn't find it. Throw to first in time. Coach Garrido will be with us when we come back. We go to the top of the 5th. 5-2 Texas lead. We get the opportunity to go down to the Longhorn dugout and visit with head coach Augie Garrido. Coach, hitting, in my opinion, is the most contagious thing, and right now it seems like there's an epidemic in your dugout.
What I think they're doing better than earlier in the year and from time to time is laying off pitches outside the strike zone, and they're capitalizing on the pitch when the pitcher misses. They hit a line drive instead of getting themselves behind them and counting on pitchers outside the strike zone.
Coach, it seems like, I mean, not just because you're winning, but the last week or so, this team, there seems to be more intensity, more hustle. Like even Travis Jones on the hit to left, he was really hustling, thinking he could get 2 out of the box.
Well, I'm glad you see that. I think they are playing with a lot more confidence, and confidence can oftentimes be very contagious and make teams play at a higher level.
Thanks for taking the time, Coach.
You bet. Thank you.
Visit with head coach each and every 5th inning here at home. It's so much fun to sit and listen to him sometimes when he starts talking about things that they're little bitty things that some people miss.
Well, he can start talking like in the dugout before batting practice. I mean, it was about different other things other than the game, but people seem to start congregating and start listening. You can learn a lot from listening.
The 1-1 pitch, or the 1-0 in there for a strike from Widgeway. Hubbard steps in. Hubbard walked and scored the first of the 2 runs for the Bobcats. Breaking ball dropped in there, and it's 1-2. Texas has outscored their opponents, Greg, in the first 4 innings of the last 8 ball games. Did he go? Yes, he did. Strikeout for Widgeway. 48-18.
It's just something that's happened in that dugout that has turned things around. And to me, I mean, the thing I think is, like Augie said, they're not chasing as many balls out of the zone, but they're putting the ball in play. And when you put the ball in play, anything can happen, and it's going good for the Longhorns.
Almendarez steps in. He singled to right against Mays his last time up, came in to score. Ridgeway trying to qualify himself for the victory. At least as the official score, has that opportunity to go wherever he wants to. But if you pitch through the 5th, I think you should get the win if your team's ahead. Guarantee you they would be that way in Major League Baseball.
More times than not, it is the guy that follows the starting pitcher. If the starting pitcher doesn't go the qualified 5. That's how I got my first college win. I started the first game of the year, pitched into the 4th inning, then went out and came in relief for Bruce Ruffin out in Arizona State. He went 4 2/3.
He got the win.
Well, I finished the game, but we were winning. I could have only pitched 2 innings and got the win, but that's when things turned around for myself.
Full count to Almendarez. On the ground to his left, Baker. throw in time. Defense looks good. Ridgway looks good, as he's retired all 5 batters he's faced since coming into the ballgame.
With that sink and with the slide, I mean, it's like he's keeping him off balance. He'll hit him in with that sinker and go away with the fastball or the breaking ball, and the 2 strikeouts and 3 ground balls.
Ortega 0 for 2 as he steps in. First pitch in there for a strike. Victoria High School. Jonathan Ortega. Breaking ball, misses outside.
Coach Harrington really likes this young man. I mean, for obvious reasons, but he's a good young player, a freshman, batting over 300. Plays good defense.
Popped up right side. Clements has it. And again, 1, 2, 3 for Bo Ridgway as we visit with Ty Harrington when we come back. Bottom of the 5th, 5-2 Texas. We get the opportunity to go down into the Bobcat dugout and visit with their 17th year head coach, Ty Harrington. First of all, Ty, as a Texas X, and you as a Texas X, we all are so happy to hear that your health is doing well, and congratulations on that. Now let's talk about the ball game.
Yep.
First thing is starter, got good stuff. He just his command, he just got the ball elevated.
Yeah, he did. And you know, when he had to make the big pitch with runners on 2nd and 3rd, he did elevate, and that's been what he's been battling, and he knows it, and he's trying to. I thought his focus was fine. You know, he gets 2 quick outs and has a chance to try to close out the inning, and then falls behind both guys. And so it's a fine line. You know it when you're a sinker ball guy that you can't do that, and certainly you can't elevate.
Coach, you got a young team. You talk about the development of these guys, and they just keep grinding out there for you.
Yeah, they're gonna. And you know, we're not fundamentally playing well tonight so far, but we need to pick up some momentum second half of this game and get something positive going, because they can, and they're capable, and it's something we've been working on. And they get frustrated a little bit, but we're young and we got to get after it. Ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for us. I can promise you that.
Ty, good luck to you tonight and the rest of the season.
Okay, guys, thank you.
Ty Harrington. You know, just what can you say? He's a good friend of both of ours. So
30 years.
We wish him the best. Joe Baker will step in against Brandon Lewis, out for his 2nd full inning of work as he came on in relief in the 3rd.
That's one Ty has always been positive.
Yes.
So you wouldn't know if he wasn't feeling well or if he is feeling well. He's been a very positive guy. He was a very positive teammate here at the University of Texas, always being up, always keeping you on the upside, even when you had a bad game.
You can see Ty Harrington, some names that you know right there, along with him. Then as an assistant coach.
Don't recognize him with hair.
Well, you do now, as we'll highlight that.
He was good looking, wasn't he?
Did a nice job as a coach here. And then on the way to Arkansas State, and then from Arkansas State to junior college, where he did an outstanding job, and then now in his 17th season as the head coach at Texas State University.
National championship out at Northeast Community College. First year there. Did go to Blinn for a year, and then on to Southwest Texas State University.
Now Texas State.
Formerly Texas State University San Marcos. They changed names a few times.
I tell you that this is a number, folks. If you want to tune in and didn't realize this, can you guess how many students are enrolled, underclassmen enrolled at Texas State University as Mathis steps in?
I know they've grown. I'm not going to say it's 50, but I'm not going to say it's under 30.
38,006
Wow.
in 2016.
Yeah, they're growing.
It is not a small campus, just 30 miles south of Austin anymore.
Ty's done a good job down there with help of all of his boosters, all the friends, the family, the alumni, changing the facilities down there.
Yeah, Bobcat Stadium's a nice.
Got a few suites in there now, a level playing field where it used to be kind of lumpy in the outfield. I mean, it happens. They just didn't have the proper.
I coached there.
Yeah.
So I can tell you, I know.
He's changed it around. Been there a long time. He's done well.
Can see their programming. Making the move in the Sun Belt Conference. Mathis draws the one-out walk. 7 conference titles, most of those in the Southland Conference. 3 NCAA appearances in the Southland Conference, which is never gets 2 bids, and I don't understand why, because it is it's better than a mid-major conference. Now in the Sun Belt Conference, which is a good baseball conference as well.
Yeah, they played ping pong there for a few years. I mean, going from the WAC to the Sun Belt to the
back
South.
to the WAC. Zane Gerwitz steps in. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI single.
Put out some really good ball players out of Texas State.
41 have been drafted in Ty Harrington's career as a head coach. This ball ripped down the left field line. Mathis on the way to third. He'll hold up there. Gerwitz with a double. His 2nd hit of the night.
I'll tell you what, pitchers have been making good pitches against Texas. They've been hitting those, but the balls that have been up, Texas has not been letting those balls get by them lately.
Not missing
and hit them hard.
Barreling them up. 11th double of the year for Gerwitz. Hubbard on the way to mound to visit with his left-hander. No activity yet from Ty Harrington. Right-hander is throwing.
Just waiting for the sign that he's ready. Got everybody looking down there. Jared Huber will wait, and he's going to come back to the behind the plate.
Rand is the scheduled hitter. Tyler has struck out and lined out, and Ty Harrington will make a move here as he's on the way to the mound, probably to go get the right-hander out of the bullpen.
Joe Powell going to make his way to the gate, make his way out into the ball game.
Well, first of all, the first thing that I look at, not necessarily this ball game, but it encompasses this ball game. Texas offensively has been outstanding over the last 2 weeks, and because of that, it's led to obviously wins. You go back to the first game against Kansas, Greg. They scored a lot of runs, but they lost that game late in the game, but it was a high-scoring game.
Right.
Then they lost Friday night at Tech in a high-scoring game where they got out to a 5-0 lead.
Yeah, the runs and getting leads hasn't been a problem for Texas lately. They've been doing that very well, and like I said, they've been taking advantage of that ball up in the zone and getting the extra base hits. We talked about it before the Kansas series. Getting the extra base hits was going to be a key for the Longhorns. In the last 8 games, they've done a very good job of that. It's a lot easier to score a guy from second or third than it is from first when you get the extra base hits.
Well, the slugging percentage is different than that. Now let's go back to the pitching. I think tonight we've seen something from Bo Ridgway that we haven't seen. He's retired all 6 he's faced. He might be working his way in to an opportunity to get the ball more regular.
Yeah, they're going to have to find something. Connor Mays has been struggling, but Ridgway's been coming out of that bullpen on a consistent basis now. They saw what they wanted to see out of Nolan Kingham over the weekend up in Lubbock. He came out and threw the ball well, so if they can just find that fourth starter or maybe some guys in the middle that can bridge it, you piece together starts. You know what I'm saying? They just need to get the guys to throw consistently on Tuesdays, and that middle relief is what they're looking for.
And then starting pitching over the weekend, get their starting pitchers deeper into the ball game. I think that was a key that you mentioned earlier. If you do that, then you'll have to use your bullpen as often.
Yeah, I mean, the starting pitching has to. I mean, at least 6. You want them to go more. I mean, 7 or 8. And that's, I think, one of the things that they start picking, they start getting ahead, and then they start trying to just needle around the zone instead of attacking. Pitch counts get up, they come out of the game. So starting pitching, for one, needs to go deeper.
The new pitcher coming into the game,
Joe Powell.
Joe Powell. He's a senior from Dallas as he makes his appearance. His 9th of the year for the Bobcats.
Sinker slider pitcher is Powell. Really not too many innings and too many appearances for him on the season.
He's got a tough situation here. Reset it. 5-2 Texas lead, bottom of the fifth. Runners at second and third. The Bobcats have their infield up as Tyler Rand steps in. Tyler 0 for 2. He hit a bullet right at Ortega at second base his first time up.
New pitcher in the game. You want to get your signs right. Last thing you want to do is cross up your catcher with a runner on second and third. It'd be a run.
Well, it could be the catcher running out there and go, say, hey, what did we say we're going to use for the man on second?
Joe Powell last pitched on April 19th against the Aggies. Pitched an inning, give up a couple hits and a run.
Fouled off right side, out of play. I like the aggressiveness of the true freshman from Cypress, Tyler Rand, in RBI situations this season. It started back early in the year before he broke his hand against Stanford. In these situations, he's very aggressive when he comes to the plate. Now, sometimes it's going to cost him, but as he ages as a hitter, he's going to get better and better. I think early in these situations, you've got to be aggressive. This ball hit well out to left. Studdard able to get to it, but it's deep enough to drive in the run. Mathis tags up and scores, and it's a 6-2 Texas lead.
Goes right after it. Not sure if Granger's seeing it too well out there. Gets this ball elevated. Plenty of time for Patrick Mathis to score.
So McKenzie steps in. Texas has scored in every frame now except the second in the ball game and lead by 4. Fastball in there for a strike. Couple of looks at second. Slider misses outside and it evens at 1-1.
Anytime you can get a guy in a game who hadn't pitched very much on the season, you want to make them be around the plate. Don't do them favors and chase off the plate. Make them command their pitches. So far, Powell's struggling a little bit with that command. Didn't have time to struggle with it with Tyler Rand. He was hacking at first, too.
Good hitter's pitch coming from McKenzie. Gets away, back to the screen. The wild pitch. Moves Gerwitz up to third. Texas 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position on the night. But they're 5 for 10 with runners on. Breaking ball misses inside. Runners will be at first and third now. Back to Travis Jones. He singled his last time up, came around to score. His fourth at bat here in the 5th inning for Travis Jones in the top of the order.
Texas just, I mean, they've been putting together innings. They had 9, 10 over the weekend. Tonight, 7, 8. Sending them to the plate.
Keep the line moving.
Texas State, no one at the moment playing catch, but they're lined up to throw. We got about 15 people down there.
Good fastball. It's quickly 0-2. You know, most of the time when Texas scores run, they're getting their leadoff guy on. Texas has only had the leadoff guy on base once in 5 innings tonight, but they've scored 6.
6.
There's a few guys
7.
out there, yeah, lined up. They haven't scored any in that scenario. The 0-2. Gets a piece of it, keeps the at-bat alive.
There were times when I was a starting pitcher, I would go to the bullpen because it wasn't too happy in the dugout. And I was wanting to get away from it.
You didn't want it to rub off on
I'm
you?
gonna go sit down there. Not when I was pitching, just on days when I wasn't pitching.
The 0-2. Well, trust me, as a first 2 or 3 years when you're a backup catcher and have to be in the bullpen all the time, you like to go into the dugout every once in a while too.
Right.
That phone would ring. You knew you were fixing to go to work.
That was the rush about being a relief pitcher. Knowing what part of the game it was. I mean, right now it's not, the game's not far from being out of hand. But if you were that guy, long man.
On the ground, out to second. Ortega has it. The first in time, and that ends the inning. But Texas puts another one on the board. 6-2. 6-2 ball game as we go to the top of the 6th inning. See 2 Stevens and Wong right there. And the Texas softball team will be live at McCombs Field tomorrow night. That's a 6 Central start as the Longhorns host Texas Southern. Catch the game live on LHN, streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. As Connie Clark's ball club takes on Texas Southern tomorrow right here on LHN, 6 Central. Go Ridgway's been really good since coming into the game.
A couple of weeks ago, I might want to use one of them pinch hit. I think right now Texas baseball's doing pretty good.
Long, I think, leads them in home runs. Stevens is on a lot of watch lists for Player of the Year. Ball ripped in the right. First base hit that Ridgway's given up. Second hit of the night for Ryan Newman. Came into the game struggling. He's got the big base hit in the game to drive into, and then a base hit here. So he's 2 for 3 for Newman.
Big, strong kid. Hit the home run against Texas in the first game. A big home run to right field.
Speaking of balls leaving the ballpark, one of the best in the nation with 13 steps in, and Tanner Hill, senior from San Marcos.
I guess he fouled one off his shin right below his knee. He was down there before batting practice and told his third base coach, Steve Trout, he said, look at this. Like, sat down, pulled his pants up, put that sock down, and it was just like the color of his helmet halfway down his leg.
Hadn't stopped him from playing.
So he told himself, get the head out one time. Get it fair.
It's 0-2 now. Just misses. Tried to backdoor that sinker.
I think there are times when you can fool just about everyone. This ball's coming back out over the outer half of the plate.
That's a strike.
As a pitcher and who's in the box, you want that. Now you have to make another pitch.
Comes right back to it and does.
Made the same exact pitch. Wow. What a pitch right there. What back-to-back pitches by Bo Ridgway. And Tanner Hill saying there's no way he can throw that again. Because it was a defensive swing from a guy with 13 home runs. This ball's by him, then he swings.
Third strikeout for Ridgway. Granger Studdard steps in, junior. 0 for 2 in this one. And those Longhorn fans, 1-0 in there for a strike, do know that name.
Football. Uncle Dave played for the Broncos. Cousin Casey, national champion here at Texas. Big ugly outdoors. Big outdoorsman.
7 relatives played college football. He changed the focus. College baseball player. And it's 1-2.
He's got a future as well in this game. Good size. Can hit the ball.
Got a good eye at the plate. 1-2 pitch just misses. And right now Ridgway is dealing.
You talk about nibbling. I mean, he's just kind of grinning out there because, I mean, when you're in a groove like you can throw, you can throw that exact same pitch or even a better one.
Comes right back to it. This ball ripped into center though by Granger. Real threat now. 2 hits in the inning. The first 2 that Ridgway surrendered here in the 6th.
And not a bad pitch. Ball down, just came back out over the plate. See that ball tail back over the plate.
Hubbard, the freshman from Missouri City, steps in. Hubbard 0 for 2. He's flied to right and struck out. Gets a piece of it and fouls it off. Hubbard has struggled with runners in scoring position on the season, only hitting 172. He's 5 for 29. The Bobcats now with 5 hits in the ballgame. Hits this ball hard, just foul down the right field line. Ridgway now out in front. Oh, no balls and 2 strikes.
The only time they've had multiple hits in an inning is when they did score the 2 runs in the 3rd. 1 hit in the 1st and now 2 in the 6th.
Activity taking place in the Texas bullpen.
There's Dunbar.
Well, he's done a nice job coming out of the pen for Texas. Longhorns looking for a double play ball here. Try to get out of the jam. Ripped. Right play. Get it. At first. Unusual double play, but they got the double play.
A lot of ways to turn 2. Texas gets 1, leading 6-2. Texas leading Texas State 6-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. But this is how we got out of the top of the 6th inning. Keith, I've been here many times. You release the ball and see the first reaction of Bo Ridgway right there was to flinch because he knew the location he was throwing it. And the way it came off the bat, first thing you want to do is protect yourself. And been there, done that, but a ball was right to Jake McKenzie. Bo Ridgway and the Longhorns get out of the 6th inning without giving up a run.
3 good innings of work for Bo Ridgway. Cody Clements will lead it off here in the bottom half of the 6th. Cody has walked 0 for 2 on the night. Texas 18-4 when leading after 6 innings. They will be leading here at least 6-2. Powell's breaking ball in there for a strike. They have struggled when trailing though after 6. 1-17 on the year.
When you start playing like they have, and hitting like they have, that number will change. They're playing with confidence, hitting with confidence.
Yeah, that might be the last part of when you see a transition of a team, is a team to come back 4 or 5 runs late in the ball game to win one.
Right.
That's sort of that transition. We saw that with the University of California when they came in early in the year on a Sunday afternoon. You could tell that team.
I got 6 late, didn't they?
Yeah, to find a way to get a win. You could tell that was a team that had a whole lot of confidence as a team. The 1-2 to Cody. We had a good swing on that breaking ball. Wind continues to just whip out of here. Good night to hit. Count evens. Good at bat here from Cody. This will be the 8th pitch of the at bat coming.
You'll see a lot of pitches when you see pitch. I mean, it sounds redundant, but when you're not swinging at balls outside the zone as often.
Out to left, coming on quickly is Studdard, makes a nice play. Takes a base hit away from Clements. Texas now 0 for 6 leading off the inning and still put 6 runs on the board. Nice play right there, reading that off the bat. Get your eyes, it's a good note for young outfielders. Get your eyes at the same level at the ball, you got a much better chance of catching it. Barrera has walked and scored and struck out twice, so he is 0 for 2. Looking for his first hit on the night.
Been taking that one right down the middle. There's another one right down the middle.
Swings at the breaking ball, and quickly it's 0-2. Sometimes you knew a break. I can guarantee it.
He went reverse right there.
Yeah, but Trace also knew their breaking ball was coming. I mean, it's one of you took a fastball. They said, this guy's not going to throw me another one of those. Sometimes you're looking, you know, but even though you know a breaking ball is coming, that doesn't mean you have to swing it.
Tried it again. I would try it again if I'm Powell.
Oh, yes.
That one's a little too far off the plate. I'm going to try to come in. Made the pitch. 3rd straight strikeout for Tress. 2nd in a row looking. Perfect location by Powell. Fastball inner half. First 3 were away, and then came in.
2 quick outs for Texas. That's nothing in this ball game, as they had 2 quick outs in the first, got 2. Had 2 quick outs in the third, got 2. So they've been scoring in these scenarios throughout the ball game. Clements 2 for 3. Scored twice, 2 extra base hits. Texas hitting over 500 on the night with 2 outs and nobody on. They're 6 for 11. Or actually just with 2 outs. Takes a fastball there. Powell starting to get comfortable now.
Yeah, looked a little uneasy in his first inning that he came into. But this inning right now, he's found the zone.
The 0-2. This is downstairs. That's a tight slider. It's not a big sweeping breaking ball.
It's pretty firm. Late bite.
This ball hit pretty well to center. Coming over quickly, under, puts it away as Almendarez. And 1-2-3 goes Texas here in the 6th. We go to the 7th, 6-2. Down Congress Avenue. Looking back toward Capitol Rotunda here in Austin, Texas. Well, I tell you what, this last couple of weekends been big in the Big 12 for Big 12 baseball. Texas took 2 out of 3 against the 7th-ranked Texas Tech Red Raiders. Oklahoma State at home took 2 out of 3, Greg, from the 10th ranked TCU Horned Frogs. Flip-flop this weekend. Oklahoma State comes on the road to Texas. Texas Tech visits TCU.
It's going to be a big weekend right there. Oklahoma State's playing some really good baseball under Josh Holliday. And Texas went in and did a number on a team that probably one of the hottest in the nation in the Red Raiders. Had won, what, 11 in a row, 12 in a row?
They had been playing very good baseball. And Eric Dunbar, as Texas goes to the bullpen. What an outing. We'll get to him in a minute by Bo Ridgway. But Eric Dunbar's done a nice job for the sophomore from Tomball, making his 8th appearance. Boy, he really has done a nice job of being that guy, that bridge in the bullpen.
He's been coming in and doing a really good job. Pitched Friday night against Tech. Did take the loss in that game. But up until then, he's been pitching very well out of the bullpen, has Eric Dunbar. Similar to Bo Ridgway, a little sinker slider pitcher. A really good changeup does Eric Dunbar.
Dylan Paul steps in. Paul 0 for 2 in this one. The 1-1. Breaking ball. Did he go? Yes, he did. Before we go any further, though, we got to give some kudos to Bo Ridgway tonight.
Oh, yeah.
He's in line for the victory. He went out 3 shutout innings. He gave up just 2 hits. He really did a nice job of solidifying this ball game. Connor Mays struggled again, and they needed somebody to bridge that gap from get to the late in the ball game. This ball chopped on the ground. Clements has it across to Big Brother for the first out here in the 7th.
Bo probably knew at some point he was going to pitch tonight. And earlier in that inning, Travis Duke was up throwing, so Bo wasn't even up. He got ready, came in the game, and that's what you look for out of guys that are going to come in the game that early. Not just 1 inning, not 2, 3 plus. Bo Ridgway able to give you 3 tonight, keep his pitch count down.
Boy, look at that.
35 pitches in 3 innings. Got a little scare there in his last inning, but got a line drive double play. Got him out of the inning.
Luke Shirley steps in 0 for 2. Breaking ball misses downstairs. Getting back to Big 12 play, though, you look at it right now, where each team left has 9 conference games. Everybody in the conference is in that position. And we really have seen some separation. It's the 4 teams that have separated themselves in conference play. This ball hit back through the middle for a base hit. So Shirley with his first knock. But Texas Tech still on top at 12-3. Obviously, TCU has a chance to take the lead in the conference with a sweep. And then, you know, there's going to be a 3rd place team after this weekend. Right now, tied between the Cowboys and Texas. So those 3 teams, the closest team to any of those 3 is West Virginia at 6 and 8.
Texas, I guess the important game is the Friday game. They have not done well in Friday games in conference. Done really well the last 2 getaway days. And Ty Colbert being undefeated, 5-0 in conference. Saturday and Sunday right now has not been a problem. They need to figure out that Friday game and get that one, because it's going to be a big one. I think the pitcher for Oklahoma State coming in, Hatch, he had a complete game win over the weekend.
He's a good one. 1-1 to Hubbard. Tried to check his swing, he could not. Good pitch there from Dunbar with the fastball, and it's 1-2. Got him looking.
Jared Hoover, last 2 at bats, seeing the ball, had a late swing his last at bat, and this one was painted by Dunbar. Freezes him right on the outside corner.
Can't pull the trigger. Armendariz Jacob steps in. Singled, scored, and grounded to short. Baker underhands to McKenzie, and that ends the inning. We go to the 7th inning stretch. Texas with a 4-run lead. You can see the humidity hanging in the air here. Wind continues to blow out. Moisture coming off the Gulf Coast. Storms expected. You can sort of feel it in the air right now. Texas has stormed out to a 6-2 lead. And the Bobcats, Texas State, go to the bullpen again here for the home half of the 7th. Chase Hodson into the game. He's a senior from Richmond, right-hander, making his 14th appearance of the year.
The numbers are there. Pitched a lot early in the season for these Bobcats. As of late, only 3 innings, last 5 appearances, giving up only 3 hits and 1 run in his last 5 appearances. His job now is to keep Texas right where they are at 6 and hope his Bobcats can get some late runs. First batter he's going to be facing will be Joe Baker.
Joe Baker got the scoring underway in this one. He drove in 2 with a 2-run single back in the 1st inning. He was hit by a pitch and scored in the 3rd, and has flied to left. Which misses outside, and it's 2-0. 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for Texas State. 6-8-1 for Texas. The 3-0. Downstairs, ball 4. Nothing can aggravate you more when you see a guy come out of the bullpen and the first 4 pitches are outside the zone. It's just one of those things where you just think, how can that happen? You know, he just spent a good 10 minutes down there warming up.
You know you're coming in. It's a little different atmosphere
between the white lines
out here on the bump than it is down in that cage down behind the left field wall.
Patrick Mathis will step in. Mathis 1 for 2 with a run scored.
And it was a good job by his teammates, Chase Hodson's teammates, to come to the mound and give him a breather and say, hey, let's try a breaking ball first pitch, first strike.
Back to back. This one misses downstairs and the count evens. Bobcats looking for a double play ball. Texas has turned 2 in the ball game.
Look up there on the video board here at UFC Dish-Falk Field, and now, I mean, I always look at other teams' averages when they come in here and like, God, they got 3 guys batting over 300. They got this guy doing this. Looking out there now, Travis Jones is 297. Tress is 300. Case is 301. Baker's 313. Patrick Mathis 319. And Zig Gerwitz 306. And right below him,
299.
299. So Texas, over the last 2 weeks, 8 games, have really changed the complexion of their season.
There goes Baker. Able to get in there with a head first slide. Stays on the bag. Almost overslid the bag that time.
Looks back in. He got a good jump. See the slide, and he just keeps going. Almost. Luke Shirley did a good job of keeping the tag down there.
7 out of 8 on the season is Baker in the stolen base department now. Get him over, get him in, play the game. And this is downstairs, and the count goes full.
Texas State double-barreled in the bullpen the breaking ball, he's gotten that one over. I wouldn't doubt if we saw that 3-2 right here.
It's not a bad pitch in this scenario because you would think that Mathis would be trying to pull the ball to get out in front. Good location. Mathis just gets a piece of it. With the man on second as a hitter, you're trying to hit the ball to the right-hand side. That hurt.
Just gonna give a couple extra breaths for Patrick to get back in there. Yeah, ideal right now. The breaking ball is easier for him to pull over there. It's coming right into his swing.
If a guy's thinking about getting out in front, you can get the breaking ball underneath him sometimes. Yeah, roll over. Mathis steps back in. Got him right at the bottom of the strike zone.
It's a strike. Might not look like it because where Hubert glove is almost to the ground, but we saw that pitch earlier in the game, not called the strike, right at the bottom of the zone. Hodson gets the call.
Zane Gerwitz has had a big night. He's 2 for 3. Average up over 300 at 306. Driven in a run. Good pitch there for a strike.
90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Couple of looks there. That's presence on them. I like pitchers that have some mound presence. He didn't like what he saw. Maybe thought that Baker was signaling some location at second base. Or might be thinking about stealing. He came set, looked back. A lot of times pitchers will make the decision. They'll look back once and they'll look home and go to home. You gotta get those double looks every once in a while. Count evens. Some pace.
Overthinking.
Your defense is getting on your heels. Fouls this ball off. 1-2 to Gerwitz. In the infield, there's a little communication. Guys are talking, looking at each other. When it slows down the pace, as an outfielder,
it's lonely out there.
It's lonely.
It just kind of just takes the air out of the entire game.
It does. Stuttered and left. At least he's got some teammates fairly close to him. He can turn and look at the bullpen and say, come on, guys, if y'all get in there, let's go.
Something. Let's go.
But if you're in center and you're in right, you're by yourself. The 2-2 to Zane. Fouls it off and keeps the at-bat alive. Two runs on 6 hits, 1 error for Texas State. 6 runs on 8 hits, 1 error for Texas. So that's the other thing Texas has done well. When they out-hit their opponents, they win ball games at a very high rate. challenged him. Gerwitz couldn't catch up to it. Second strikeout for Hobson.
One looking. Climbs the ladder right there on Zane. Zane chases him.
Tyler Rand's 0 for 2, but he has a sacrifice fly in the ball game. Baker down at second. Nose to toes breaking ball right there. That's an old-fashioned drop.
Chase letting that one go. He's got really good angle on his fastball. Good break on his curve. Just needs to pick up the pace a little bit.
The 0-2. Overthrew that fastball just a little bit. Sometimes you can see a guy get right over the top and he just pulls it across the zone.
He started leaning, got out in front of it a little bit. Two things can happen. You're either late and the ball sails on you, or you try to speed up and you pull it like he did on that one.
Downstairs and the count evens. And to explain to the folks, when you're late, it means your arm's behind your body. That's what you mean by being late. And then there's time when you're ahead, your arm is actually ahead of your body. Is that when you hold on to it and pull it across?
No, when you're ahead, it means you try to be too quick because you've already drifted with your body out towards the plate, and now your hand is laid out of your glove, and now it can either be late by being slow, and that's when it sails on you, or you try to overcompensate by speeding your arm up.
I got you.
And you yank it.
From 0-2 to 3-2. Foul back out of play. Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming after starting out with an 0-2 count. Got him. Struck out the side. We go to the 8th. Texas with a 6-2 lead.
When you need
Paul Goldschmidt, 3 years at Texas State, was an outstanding player for the Bobcats. The interesting part of that is we were looking at this earlier. Greg, you said the word. He's the face of the franchise for the Diamondbacks.
He's turned into a great ambassador for the Diamondbacks. He does a lot in the community, does a lot for that team on the field. You saw the Gold Glove there. He's won Silver Sluggers. He's been an All-Star. I think he was second in the MVP voting. And in college, he was a man amongst boys.
Yes, he was.
When he was at Texas State.
Dynamite player. Eric Dunbar out for his second inning of work. Hubbard will step in. Excuse me, that's Ortega. On the top of the order. Ortega, 0 for 3. Difference in pace. Again, if you have young players watching this and you're trying to pitch, the difference in the pace between Hobson and Dunbar. Both can be effective, as Clements has this and throws it across, but as a defensive player, Dunbar gets the ball, gets the sign and goes. Gets the ball, gets the sign and goes. You're getting into a flow as a defensive player as well, where Hobson was taking 15, 20, 25 seconds in between pitches.
It just like I said, it lets the air not only out of the the crowd or the environment, your defense is like, oh, here we go. A lot of time in between pitches. We got a 3-2 count now. I mean, he did well. He walked the guy and struck out the side, but I think you can pick it up a little bit. To each their own.
Well, you're right, but I will say that long term, as his career progresses, the quicker he can work, the more effective he's going to be long term. Throw to first. Is it in time? Yes, it is. Is Clements able to hold on to the bag and the throw from McKenzie? That should be an easy play. Was not as easy as it looked.
Casey gets to the bag. Jake just kind of nonchalant. But he said there he got his body out front and tried to speed up. Threw that ball in the outer half. Quick reactions by Casey. Having a laugh with each other.
Tanner Hill steps in. He has doubled tonight. Flied to right and struck out. 13 home runs on the season. That is a ton in college baseball. For the senior from San Marcos. Rips this ball down the left field line. That'll go for extra bases. Hill on his way to second. The throw in from Rand is offline, backed up by Clements. Second double of the night for Tanner Hill.
Take a look at the swing by Hill. Eric Dunbar is lucky that was just a double. Hanging breaking ball over the inner half. Gets out to that left field corner pretty quick. Tyler Rand made a bad throw. That's really not a bad time to even just try to make a throw like that all the way in. Knowing the speed of Hill, and you know you got backup over here.
Studdard singled his last time up. He's 1 for 3 on the night. 7th hit of the ball game for the Bobcats. Hit hard on the ground. Nice job by Clements. Races to the bag and the inning's over. Nice play, Casey Clements. We go to the home half of the 8th. Texas with a 4-run lead. And now for our turning point, brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. It happened in the 3rd inning as Casey Clements goes opposite field. Greg, his 4th homer of the year, his 2nd extra base hit of the night. Texas has not trailed since that point.
Yeah, 3rd inning, tied 2-2. Hit one out, and the emojis, the Casey emojis, like what they saw. His 4th of the season. Only had 1 in his first 2 seasons.
McKenzie will lead it off here. It'll be McKenzie, Jones, and Cody Clements. Bottom of the 8th. Texas trying to add to this 4-run lead and secure their 20th victory of the year. Big swing from McKenzie. Comes up empty. Forget this weekend. It's a huge weekend in the Big 12. Obviously, other series. Tech travels to TCU, and then the 2 third-place teams, Texas and Oklahoma State, get together right here in Austin. We'll have it for you right here on LHN. And it's odd times, different than our normal times. 7 Central on Friday night, 3:30 Central Saturday afternoon, and 1:30 Central on Sunday afternoon.
Where are we at, Wrigley?
Yeah, Wrigley has.
They had about 9 different starting times.
12:05, 12:20, 1:20, 3:05, 7:05. 2-2 to McKenzie. Threw it right by him. Remember, Longhorn baseball this weekend as Oklahoma State comes to town. You can see the game times right there. Cowboys and Longhorns, big series. 7, 3:30, and 1:30 right here on LHN, or streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app.
If you want to watch ladies softball. They're on right before us each day.
Right here from Austin. Jones steps in, 4 consecutive strikeouts.
Chase Hodson's down there saying, hey, y'all can talk about my pace all you want. Almost strike out 4 in a row.
Well, working a lot quicker now. Breaking ball misses downstairs. And it's 2-0 to Jones. Travis has singled in the game, scored 1 for 4. Also a stolen base in the ball game. Fastball fouled back. The 11th time this season Texas has, as a team, struck out 10 times in a ball game. At least 10 times. Dynamite pitch there, and the count evens. Nice job of fighting that ball off by Travis Jones to keep the at bat alive. That ball was buying.
He's got good velocity. He's been 90, 91 miles an hour. When he has been able to get the breaking ball over, which he has, it makes that fastball look a little harder.
Jones a little closer to catching up to that one. Still fouls it off, and it's 2-2. Sophomore from Humble. Ball hit pretty well to center. Going back is Armendariz. Will he get there? Yes, he does. Right at the edge of the track for the second out of the inning.
Breaking ball by Hodson. Hung up there, but Travis put something in it. The ball carried out there pretty good.
Cody Clement's looking for his first hit of the night. He has reached base tonight for the 18th consecutive game via the walk. First pitch downstairs. Had a good swing at that fastball, and the count evens. Peeking ahead to the ninth, it'll be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due for the Bobcats. Breaking ball downstairs.
Chase Sugar.
I would think probably will get the ninth. He is loosening.
Loosening down there, not going anything too fast.
Again, as warm and humid as it is tonight, he probably threw earlier today. It ain't going to take him long to get loose.
Not going to take him long with a 4-run lead. Possibly not bring him in until runners get on base.
Armendariz comes in, makes the call, makes the play. And the Longhorns are done here in the 8th. We go to the 9th. 6-2 ball game.
With it.
And now for our most dependable player of the game, powered by Chevy Silverado, Bo Ridgway. Outstanding job coming in and riding the ship, Greg. 3 innings, shutout baseball, struck out 3, only allowed 2 hits, that in his 3rd frame, and only threw 35 pitches, in line for his 2nd career victory.
Bo Ridgway, 35 pitches. That's what stands out for me tonight for him. But you're looking for that middle guy, especially, I mean, Tuesdays have been tough for Texas to come in and keep Texas State at bay, not allowing them to get a run, and only gave up 2 hits while he was in the ball game. And now Texas will send out Chase Sugar. 5'10" freshman out of Bridge City has turned his season around as of late. few appearances where he struggled, but his 23rd appearance. Fastball's back where he wants it, 94, 95 miles an hour, and has command of his off speed. Kid's got some mound presence, not afraid to get the ball over the plate, throw strikes, challenge. He likes the challenge of being out there in this situation. It's not a safe situation. 4-run lead right here. Texas looking to get another Tuesday victory.
Got his first collegiate win down in San Marcos against these Bobcats back on March 1st. It's out of a bases-loaded jam in that scenario.
In the ninth.
In the ninth. Texas won it in extra innings.
Got himself in that jam.
Got his first career win. Hubbard steps in. Hit the ball hard his last time up. 0 for 3 on the night. This ball on the ground right side. McKenzie has it. The first in time for the first out here in the ninth. Pinch hitter coming to the plate. Perez will be the pinch hitter.
Heard the delay there with the new uniforms, which I like. Coach Harrington has Texas State wearing with the American flag as the number. It's really hard from where we are to tell what it is unless it's right up on them like that.
Nick Perez, a freshman from right here in Austin. Fastball misses outside, and it's 2-0.
That was third base coach Steve Trout down there in the third base box. Did something today before the game about running for Father of the Year. If I maybe gave his wife Blair a shout out, her birthday's today, that
oh, happy birthday.
Might solidify it for him right there. So happy birthday, Blair.
2-1 pitch, foul back out of play. And it's 2-2 to Perez. Got him set up for that hook. See if Sugar goes to it here. With the fastball.
He had it. Good movement, late movement on that fastball by Chase.
3-2. Got the outside corner for the strikeout. The Bobcats down to their final out.
Good spot.
Luke Shirley steps in. He's 1 for 3 on the night. There's that bender.
That's the key for Chase if he's going to be a closer. He has the live fastball and got movement on it. The key for Chase will be getting that breaking ball over.
The 0-1. Tied him up inside. Longhorn fans come to their feet here now. Strike away for their 20th victory of the year. The 0-2. Downstairs, and it's 1-2. Saw one home run tonight on a night what I thought would be a big offensive night with this breeze blowing out to left. Keeps the at bat alive. Fouls this ball off.
Neither of these teams have really elevated too much. The two that Texas State has hit by Tanner Hill have been on a line to left field. Casey about the only one that got the ball up.
Elevated. Well, Hill hit both of his balls hard enough to get him out of the ballpark. He just didn't get him up in the air.
Through the wall.
1-2. Got him. Longhorns come away with a victory. They win it here tonight, 6-2 over the Bobcats at Texas State. Move their record to 20-21. Offense again, Greg, when you look at it early in the game, in the first and in the third, really in the fourth, they took advantage a lot with 2 outs, nobody on, but just kept putting the offense together, sending 7, 8 guys to the plate.
They're going up to the plate with a lot of confidence the last 8 or 9 ball games. And it doesn't matter, like you said, if there's no outs or 2 outs, they continue to put together good at-bats and put the ball in play. Yeah, they struck out tonight, but they get the extra base hits, they got the home run, they get the doubles, and they're able to score a lot more runs and get early leads. When this team gets early leads, they're pretty good.
Yeah, they're scoring early. They've outscored their opponent the first 4 innings in the last 8 ball games, folks, 48-18. So they're playing their best baseball of the year right now. The other part I want to talk about is Bo Ridgway coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah, his last few outings have been good, and that's something Texas is looking for. Someone to bridge the gap in starts like tonight for Connor Mays to get you later into the game. But Bo Ridgway, Eric Dunbar have done well, but it's good to see because you're gonna need that extra pitching, especially the last few games coming up.
Last thing I want to talk about, obviously you just had a very emotional weekend on the road at Tech where you played really well. Now you have the team that's tied with you in a conference, knowing that you've got to get in the upper 2 in this conference probably to qualify for the postseason. It'll be important to see them play well this weekend against Oklahoma State.
Keep riding the wave. Playing with a lot of confidence.
Coming up next is Longhorn Extra. Our final score, Texas 6, Texas State 2. For Greg Swindell, our entire crew, I'm Keith Moreland, and we take you to the eyes of Texas.